Just for some quick logistics, we're going to be using the office hours channel for any back and forth or thoughts anyone has. So please, as anyone has questions at all, fire them off here. This is meant to be interactive. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be a good time. And hopefully it's meant to be useful as well. Welcome, welcome. So we'll give it a couple more minutes to see if anyone else wants to jump in, but very much appreciate everyone who's taking the time to get in here. I'm going to be navigating through a few different windows here, and so if it takes me a minute to see your question, please forgive me. I will definitely get to it eventually. I have my trusty partner Grasslow keeping an eye on things too, so Grasslow can also probably help answer a bunch of questions. All right. Nice showing for a Wednesday midday for the East Coasters. We'll get started in about 2 minutes. And if anyone has anything in particular you're hoping that I cover, please do drop it into the office hours channel, the one that is, it's third under the community tab, office hours there. But otherwise, the plan is to do kind of a full comprehensive review of the rental process from both the perspective of the owner of a moment who's renting it out and from the renter of a moment who is renting it, likely for a challenge at this point. All right, we'll give it one more minute. Hopefully everyone's having a nice day. They are currently repaving the road outside my house, so it's exciting because we'll have fewer potholes, but it's a painful week because we can't use our driveway. And with that exciting update, I am going to get right into it. So please, stressing this once more, if anyone has any questions, if anything is unclear at all, please do stop me. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to be presenting this from the perspective of both owners and renters. And so we're going to start off with owners. And so the concept of the Flowty Rentals from the owner's perspective is generally you have a moment. That moment is in a challenge and you are not using it. You don't want to sell it, but you want to be able to access the challenge premium. We all know that when moments are in challenges, the price goes up, and then at the end of the challenge, the price goes back down. So if you don't want to sell it, there hasn't really been a great way to take advantage of how you can monetize that asset. Flowty Rentals tries to fill that void. We allow you to, in a safe and trustless way, rent out your moment to other members of the community, whether or not you know who they are. You don't need to trust anyone. You don't need to know anyone. You just come to Flowty's website and you can rent it out. And so that use case is the first one we're going to be covering here. And so just to kick it off, obviously the first thing you need to do in order to interact with the Flowty platform as an owner of a moment is to move your moment from the Top Shot platform to a Blocto or a third-party wallet. So for a tiny bit of background, when Top Shot first came out, you could not remove your owned moments from Top Shot's website to a third-party wallet. In October, they allowed legendaries to be taken off the platform, and I think it was in March they allowed all moments to be taken off the platform. It is not that easy to do, so part of the lesson today is explaining how it can be really easy. It's not easy if you don't know a trick. It is easy once you do know that trick. So hopefully everyone can see this window here. The way you take a moment off of your account is you go like this. You go to your Top Shot account, navigate to your collection, and great. We're moving a little bit slowly, but we're moving. And great, we can use this Jerry Stackhouse Run It Back. I opened this in a pack last night. You navigate to the moment you want to withdraw. And so it's up to you what you want to withdraw, what you want to rent out. Assuming this was the right moment, you come to your URL, click it, you copy it. I would typically use a keyboard for anyone who thinks I'm being a boomer right now, but I'm trying to show visuals. Copy the URL, and you navigate to a very useful tool. So this is one of the big points we want to stress as part of today's Rentals 101. This is a tool that was built by our community favorite, Steve Veerman. And this tool makes it much, much easier to withdraw moments. And so again, you're now on the exact page of the moment you want to take out, and you navigate to Veerman's tool. And Grasslow, if you don't mind, if you haven't already, please do drop this link into the office hours so you can follow along here if you're interested. And all you then do is paste. And again, I would normally do that on a keyboard. And you click export. And you'll be presented with your Dapper wallet. Oh, man. Terrible choice of me. I'm choosing a different moment. Huge oversight on my end. Huge. What a mistake. Okay, I am... Hopefully this is far back enough. The new moment I'm going to be withdrawing is this Luka Doncic playoff moment. We will grab the URL. We will move to this tool and click export. You will be greeted with, and this page basically prompts you to connect a wallet. So if you don't have a Blocto wallet, it's very easy to set one up. The easiest way to set one up is if you navigate to our website and you connect your wallet here, and you can basically pop in your email address here, and you'll be able to instantly set up a brand new wallet that's accessible via your email. You don't need to deal with seed phrases or anything like that. Blocto is great. We're a big fan of their product. So once you have your Blocto set up, and for anyone who has questions there, obviously I glossed over that pretty quickly. We can spend some time there. But once you do have your wallet set up, you click Connect Wallet. You would log into your wallet here. I'm already logged in. Click Confirm, Send NFT. So now let's look at it one more time. We have the Luka, the serial number is 6200, and we're going to send it. Confirm. Right, so now this has been sent and exported to my Blocto wallet. Then the next step is navigate to the Flowty platform. So I'm sure everyone's been here before, but if you haven't, Grasslow can drop in a URL for how to access our website. It's simply flowty.io. And you would then navigate to Connect Wallet. You connect your wallet. You confirm. Great. And welcome to Flowty. And while we're connecting here, okay, we're already connected. I'm just going to check in to make sure that no one has any questions so far. Great. We have mathematics saying driveways are overrated. I don't hate the take. And so now we are logged in to our account. Now this address up here, my Blocto account, is the same address as the one that I exported the moment to from Dapper. Okay, if you don't see your moment, that's the first thing to confirm. Make sure you're logging into the same account. Okay, then you navigate to the marketplace. We have a loans tab, which we'll do a little loan overview another time, and a rentals tab. Today we're focused on rentals. And we're gonna ignore the marketplace for now and go right to this new rental button. So this is where you can add a new rental listing. And we're loading our collateral right now. I think Austin is probably frustrated watching the loading wheel. We are taking steps to make this process a little bit faster now. But what we you see here is a Luka Doncic 2022 playoff moment. Common 6,200. And just to highlight exactly how easy it is to withdraw a moment, I'm going to add another moment now to my wallet, starting from my collection. So I'm going to go to my collection. Hopefully loads. I'm going to sort by oldest received. We don't run into annoying Dapper issues. I'm going to click this moment. That one may be, we're going to run into locking issues here. Okay, here we go. Dwayne Wade Vintage Vibes, everyone's favorite moment. All you do then is copy the URL, go to Intangible, click Export. Connect wallet, confirm, send, confirm, done. And we're going to close this up, click New Rental again. Let's see how quick the Flow blockchain is. Not yet. All right, it'll be in there momentarily. We can check in a second. And anyway, proceeding on. That's all you have to do. Proceeding on with the Luka. When you want to put up a new listing, this is the screen you're greeted with. So walking through every part of this step, we support 4 different tokens on Flowty: USDC, USDT, Flow, and FUSD. Another time we can walk through each one of those, but those are the 4 kind of primary tokens in the ecosystem right now. The first input you're going to be asked for is the rental duration. Basically what this means is if someone rents this NFT from exactly the time they rent it, they have this number of days to return it. So let's say we put in 10 days. That means if after someone rents this NFT, they don't return it by 10 days, that means that rental is considered defaulted, which we'll talk about what that means. But this duration is the longest time someone can take to return your rented NFT. Okay, then just continuing down the page, you have the option of doing a private listing. So if you negotiate a deal with someone offline and you want to make sure they are able to access the rental, if you're helping out a community member or a friend and doing a lower, cheaper rental than what would probably be the market rate, and you don't want someone else to snipe it, all you would do is drop in their Blocto address right here. That's it, just drop in the Blocto address. Okay, then the next thing you choose is the rental fee. Now the rental fee is the amount that you receive for renting out this asset. So just for example, let's say you wanted $40 for renting out this asset. Here is the flow of funds. The renter gives you $40, $2 goes to the royalty, $2 comes to Flowty, and you would receive $36. The next field is really, really, really important. This is what makes the Flowty rental process work and tick. And before I get there, I'm just going to come up for air and see if anyone has any questions. No questions yet, so I'm going to assume I'm doing just a fantastic job walking through exactly how this works. Just a wondrous job. Okay, the refundable deposit is really important. So the refundable deposit, the way it works is you want this number or this token value to be something that if the renter does not return your moment within 10 days, you receive this amount instead of getting your NFT back. So for example, this Luka Doncic, according to Moment Ranks down here, is worth $8. So from my perspective, I might say, okay, I don't really want to give it up at the current market price. I don't really, I prefer if the renter returns it. So I'm going to go ahead and make it so the deposit is $15. So what this means is that if the NFT is not returned on time, you as the owner would receive $14.25, which is the $15 less the collection royalty. So you want to make sure as the renter, this is the most important thing, that you are comfortable receiving this amount, 1425, instead of getting your NFT back. Okay, so this is the owner input box, and what that yields is this listing. So this is exactly what it's going to look like in the marketplace. The renter is going to be presented with a situation where they need to put up a total of $55 up front, 40 of which is a rental fee, and that is non-reimbursable. $40 is their fee for participating. $15 is the refundable deposit. The renter's perspective, as soon as they return the NFT, they get their $15 back. So during the term of the rental, this $15 is held in escrow. Okay, and then this is the other information that they're provided. The one kind of unusual metric that we provide is moment ranks debt to value. And what that means deposit to value. Deposit to value, which means what is the deposit that you're asking for relative to the value of the underlying NFT. And in our case, you're asking for a $15 deposit. The moment ranks value is $8, so you're asking for 1.88 times the moment ranks value in the form of a deposit. And what that number tells you is the higher the moment ranks deposit to value, the more the renter has to put up in the form of a deposit in order to rent your asset relative to the value of the underlying NFT, and the greater the incentive is for the renter to return the asset. Now, it is a double-edged sword. The more you ask for from a refundable deposit standpoint, the more the renter has to put up upfront, and they just may not have the liquidity available in order to do the total upfront. So if instead you wanted to make it a more accessible rental, you could make it $10, for example, and you're still above what moment rates consider the moment to be worth, but now instead of needing $55, the renter can need $50. Okay, so once you're set with your terms, move forward. Next. We have acknowledgments. So these are important because these are things that we want you as the user to understand before you proceed here, before you go through the listing. And so if we quickly run through these, the first one tells you if the renter does not return the NFT on time, you will get the deposit instead of your NFTs. So we kind of talked about that, but this is just reiterating that point. It's possible, the second one here, that during the term of the rental, the Luka Doncic we're talking about goes from $8 to $48, in which case it's actually in the renter's best interest to not return it, and you would miss out on those gains. Now, practically, most of these rentals are 9 days long, 10 days long. It's unlikely the moment goes up by 6x in that time frame. It's possible. So we're letting you know if that happens, it's quite possible that the renter would choose not to return your asset. Third one, token prices may fluctuate during the term of a rental. This is primarily for flow-based rentals. If you do a rental in flow prices, it's possible that the deposit value in US dollars changes over time. So what you get back from a deposit may differ from what you expected it to represent in US dollars. So if you're doing a flow or other non-stablecoin loan, you should be conscious of that. And then we just flag the terms of service and privacy policy. To proceed, you have to agree to the terms above. So I'm going to do that. Then you click next. You get a confirmation page. This is all the information we covered already. And make sure you're good with that. And you click next. And now we're going ahead to build the transaction. You have to approve the transaction in your crypto wallet. Hopefully you guys can see that box. I don't know if you can see what popped up, and you click approve. As soon as this is approved, you will get an email that says you have successfully added a new rental listing to your the Flowty marketplace. Please make sure you got this email. It comes from info@flowty.io. We try and communicate all the information you need via notifications. Make sure you're getting this email. If you didn't, let us know. Okay, great. So now we have put this up, and I'm going to close this for now. Assume that this is the rental that we just put up. What you would be greeted with is the owner information in the bottom of the page. Only you can see this as the person who put it up. This is basically your perspective. Everyone else sees the rental fee, the refundable deposit. What you see is your share of each of those. And so this factors in royalties, fees. So if you ever wanted to go check it out, you can just click it and it shows from your perspective what it looks like. And so here is the rental we just put up, and now we're up. And there is a 5-minute delay. The 5-minute delay is important because if you see this and you're like, crap, I put in the wrong numbers, you have time to click it and delist. So that's the next step we're talking about. If you want to delist your moment, no longer make it available for rental, all you do is you click this delist button. You navigate to your moment, you click delist. Great. Okay, then what if you say, I have a bunch of them listed and want a different way to access them, access my own listing outside of kind of finding it in the marketplace? At that point, we would encourage you to go to your own user page. This is a drop-down menu. Click Activity. And we have loans and rentals. We're focused on rentals today, so please do click Rentals. And we have 3 tabs. We have Activity, Renter, and Owner. So Activity captures everything you do on the platform. So I just listed this Luka Doncic. Here we go. Listed. If you want to see what you've done as an owner, so the owner is the person who's renting out moments, you click Owner, and this is kind of all of your activity. And so if you want to see something that's listed right now, you can filter by listed, right? And we're having a slight glitch. Okay, here is, I have 2 listings right now. If I want to go to the listing, all I do is click. It'll take me to the listing. So if I want to delist, I click delist, and I'm going to do it right now. And delist, all you do is then approve the transaction. You sign it, you delist. Okay, and we're going to close this. The blockchain transaction will happen. So that's if you choose to delist. The alternative is always someone comes along and says, I think this is a fair rental deal. I want to rent it. And they rent it. You will get an email that says your NFT was rented on Flowty. You can always get to it via this button. So this was a different one, a George Hill. And what you'll then see is rented George Hill, the information you get. Immediately in your account, you will receive your rental fee share. This will hit your account right away. Then the deposit will be stored in escrow, and essentially all that happens then is this is a 9-day rental. If within 9 days the renter returns the moment, you get your moment back, they get their deposit back. If they don't return it in 9 days, you get $180.50. You get your share of the rental deposit. That is it in terms of the ownership side of the equation. So we've now reviewed how to move a moment. Well, I guess the one last thing we can cover is if you want to move a moment back to your Top Shot account. You've completed a rental, you've delisted, and you want to move it back to your Top Shot account. All you do is this. You go to your Top Shot account, you go to My Dapper Wallet, you go to Inventory, click Plus. Okay, so again, within Dapper Wallet, you go to Inventory and click Plus. This wallet address is your Dapper Wallet address. So you would copy this, and then what you need to do is you need to go to your Blocto app. You go to the Blocto app, you select the moment that you want to send back to your Top Shot account, you click Send, you send it to this address. And that's it. Then it arrives right back in your account. And I can do it, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to right now. If anyone has questions on this, please just jump into the Office Hours channel. I'm not seeing any questions so far, so I'm just going to keep playing through. Just looking at my little outline that I have here to make sure that I'm not skipping over anything. I think we're good. Oh, so I guess the last thing I'll touch on there, for an active rental, you have a moment rented out and it's reaching the end of the rental period. We will send you a notification email to let you know. You'll get an email that looks just like this. Your Flowty rental expires soon at 48 hours before the end of your rental, 24 hours before the end, and 1 hour before the end of your rental. And so that'll just keep you updated saying, hey, your rental is about to done. You actually don't have to do anything. So we say there is no action on your end. You can't do anything. It's all up to the renter if they're going to return your asset on time. If they do return the asset on time, you'll get an email that looks like this. Your NFT has been returned. Great. Is now back in your wallet. And then you can do the deposit back in Dapper process again. Dapper wallet, inventory, plus, wonderful. That's it from the owner side. So I'll come up for a second for air there. Anyone have any questions? Good question from Ming Dynasty Vaz. The question is, can we list a rental in multiple tokens? The answer is yes. You can use the same exact NFT in multiple cryptocurrencies. And so if you're not sure what someone may want, you can list it in 2 different cryptocurrencies. We are working through different options about how we can support multiple tokens in the same listing, but for now you can list it in USDC and FUSD and USDT in one shot. And so that's the full rental process from the owner's standpoint. And we hope your experience here is that it's pretty straightforward and that it's worth a shot. I mean, if you're following along right now, it's free to list. There's no gas on Flow. Throw one up. See what the experience looks like. Now, there's a few people typing, but in the interest of time, I'm going to go to the perspective of a renter. So, from the perspective of the renter, your use case is you want to do a challenge, but you're missing some components and you don't want to buy those components. We all know what it's like. You buy a moment that's in a challenge. You don't really want to own it. You want to sell it right after the challenge. And after the challenge, the moment value absolutely craters and crashes. It's very, very hard to deal with. You're paying significant transaction fees on the value of the entire asset, which is an important distinction. Instead of paying fees just on the rental fee amount, or paying fees on the entire value of the underlying moment if you buy and sell in order to do challenges. And so we really think rentals are a nice solution for people who want to do a challenge, but who don't want to ultimately own the underlying moment. And so if that applies to you, then we think becoming a renter on Flowty is a really, really enticing and interesting and exciting option. So what you would do if you want to rent on Flowty, starting again here, is we're going to disconnect. So you would come to the Flowty website. And sorry, one thing I want to stress before I move on to this, if you're an owner and you want to rent something out, you don't need any cryptocurrency. It's free to list. There's no gas fees. You don't need to do anything else. So you don't even need to worry about getting crypto or acquiring crypto for the purposes of loaning. It's extremely easy and there's no token expense. So again, we have, 20 people in here right now. It'd be pretty awesome to see people trying out, throwing up a listing. Just give it a shot. Anyway, now let's say you are a renter. You would come to the Flowty website and you would connect your wallet. So we support Lilico and Blocto. I'm going to join with a Blocto. Okay, then you would navigate to the marketplace. So the first thing you'll notice is that in order to rent something, you need cryptocurrency, you need tokens. And so in order to check your balance, we have a very nice interface. Thank you, Austin and team. You can hover over here and we have grouped all stable coins together. So you have FUSD, USDT, and USDC. So according to this, I have $3,600 of stable coins and $230 of flow tokens. Excuse me, 230 flow tokens. And if you want the detail on this, just click it. I'll tell you exactly what you have. You have 1,400 FUSD, 274 USDC, and 1,900 USDT. And as you can see, this is also an easy place to copy your wallet address. And so this will give you an idea of what you have in your wallet right now. So browse the marketplace and, assuming you're doing the current Pascal Siakam challenge, so we can quickly go to that. Siakam challenge requires 2 Toronto Raptors MGLE Series 1 and 2 moments. I really want those. I don't want to buy them. Have no interest in buying them, but I want to do the challenge. You can come along and see, we have a Norman Powell moment here. Or let's even go here. We have a Pascal Siakam moment up for rent, a Series 2 MGLE, and I'm interested in that. I think that's an exciting opportunity. I think the rental fee is a good deal. I have the liquidity to put up the refundable deposit, and I have 20 days. So I'm interested in this. Okay. So what is this telling you across the board? We know it's a Pascal Siakam. We have all the properties down here. It's a metallic gold. It's Series 2. Coming back to here, yes, great, metallic gold Series 2. It qualifies. Fantastic. Okay, $23 rental fee. That we leave up to the user. Is that a price that you want to pay? If it's not a price you want to pay, we encourage you to go into our Discord and post what you would be interested in paying. And we're working on more elegant solutions around potentially offers and other forms of kind of communication between users. But for now, Discord is the best option. So $23 would be the rental fee. Then you have a refundable deposit. And a reminder here that this is 100% refundable. So you would be asked to put in $323 if you wanted to proceed. If you return the moment the way you're supposed to in the rental deal, you automatically get your $300 back. And so your ultimate fee is just $23. Now, just continuing down here, the duration of 20 days means that from the time you rent the moment, you have 20 days to return it to the original owner. Exactly 20 days. And this duration is a minimum of 9 days and a maximum, I think we have at 150 days right now. And so this just gives you an idea. You will get notification emails if your emails entered properly, if it's not going to your spam, and if our systems are not having issues. Now, we highly recommend that you monitor these days on your own. Put something in your calendar, write something down, tell your husband or wife to remind you. We don't want you to rely on our notifications. They're there for your convenience, but things can go wrong. So just be sure you're conscious of the 20 days. And again, the 1.4x, what this represents is the deposit relative to the value of the underlying moment. So according to Moment Ranks valuations, this Pascal Siakam is worth, I don't know, something in the neighborhood of like $250, $220, whatever the number is, $220 in that range. And so what we're saying is that you are putting up 1.4 times the value of the underlying asset. So effectively, unless things drastically change in the market, it's in your best interest to return this on time. And again, that's what marries the whole system here. That's what makes it all go. The renter does not need to know the owner. You look here, it does not matter who owns this underlying asset. The only thing that matters from your perspective is it makes financial sense for you to return this exact NFT in order to get your refundable deposit back. And importantly, you have to return exactly this NFT. If you find Pascal Siakam's Series 2 MGLE serial number 430, our system will not accept that as a returned NFT. It needs to be exactly this NFT. And so, assuming you're good with all that deal, again, $23 fee, $300 deposit, yada, 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 you would click rent. And so because that actually may get rented out as part of the current challenge, what I am going to do instead is actually rent this moment. And so we click rent. You're prompted, are you sure you want to rent this NFT? And you now are greeted with a modal. And we give you the opportunity to do automatic return. So if you want, you can check this. And if you can read this if you want, but effectively what this says is if you have this moment in your Blocto account, the same Blocto account that you use to make the rental, at the time of the expiration of the rental, we will automatically return the moment for you. So if you've opted in for this and you have the Justin Holiday, in this case, exact same moment in your wallet, we will successfully return the NFT for you. Now, the same thing we say here as we do with the notifications. We really don't want people to rely on this. If you can do a manual return, please do so. Things go wrong, and we don't want you to rely on this unless you really have to. But we think it's a really good fail-safe option. Check this, make sure it's in your wallet, and then if you forget, if you thought you returned it, if anything else happens, hopefully this works as a nice safety net for you, but please don't rely on it. Next, we kind of go through the acknowledgments again. The first one, if you don't return it on time, you lose your deposit. The second one's important. So there are a lot of different parties involved in terms of you returning your moment. One of the challenges we have is that Dapper has restrictions on withdrawing NFTs. If you deposit an NFT into your wallet, into your Dapper wallet, and that's either from Blocto or buying it from the marketplace or receiving a gift from someone or opening a pack, if you get a new moment in your Top Shot account, they don't let you withdraw it for 7 days. And so that's why we have a 9-day rental minimum, but it's something should be conscious of. If you rent a moment and send it to a friend and they send it back to you, that's the beginning of the 7-day timer. So if you have a 9-day rental and on day 4 your friend sends it back to you, you're not going to be able to return that asset on time. And we're working with Dapper to reduce that withdrawal restriction time, but as of now it's 7 days, and so please be conscious of that. And there could be other issues. Make sure you're familiar with that process. We're here to answer any questions. The third one is sometimes challenges have delays. If the Flow blockchain or Dapper's platform has issues and it pushes back a challenge by a week, we can't help extend the length of a loan. You may have to, of a rental. You may have to return the rental before you're able to use it. And look, we think it's unlikely, but it could happen. And unfortunately, there's nothing really we can do to help. The smart contract will still execute the deposit forfeiture if you don't return it on time. And we have our normal terms of service and privacy policy. Great. I agree to the above terms. Rent. Approve the transaction. And while this is processing, okay, we are all set. And I don't have it ready to go here, and I don't really think it's the best idea for me to open up my entire email on a stream like this. So you're gonna have to take my word for it that I just got an email saying you have successfully rented a NFT on Flowty. And just to show you that it's now in your wallet, which hopefully it is at this point. It may take a second, it's a blockchain transaction. Here we go. This is the moment that we just rented. So now this is in your Blocto wallet. Your next step would be to go to the Blocto app, copy your Dapper wallet address again, and send it to your Dapper wallet, at which point it will arrive in your collection. It will be right here. You'll have full ownership of it, and you can use it in a challenge. Theoretically, if you want, you can sell it, you can gift it to a friend, you can do really anything you want with it. But if you don't return it on time, you won't get your deposit back. And so now what we want to run through, I am just checking my notes here. Okay, so what I want to run through here is again, your user profile. So you've been doing renting, you're renting out, you're renting moments, you're having a great time, you're making passive income, you're wheeling and dealing, you're doing challenges. How do you keep track of all this stuff? So again, we go to this menu up here, you click activity, and make sure you're in the rentals sub-tab. And I'm reiterating a point earlier, this activity feed is everything you did. So what have I done so far? We've seen I listed this Luca, I delisted this Luca, and I've rented this Justin Holiday moment. You can see any of this stuff. It's easy. Then if you want to see what you've done as a renter, you can click this renter. I haven't done that much renting on my own. This is the first one I've done for my account technically, but assuming you have rented this moment and then you return this moment. Then what you can do, actually, I'll show you right now. Assuming you've rented it and you want to return the moment, you've moved the moment back from Dapper into your Blocto and you're ready to return it. You again, we'll just do the full process. You go to your activity, you go to rentals, you go to renter, and you might have to filter by rented, easy enough. You click, and here we go, a nice easy return button for you. You click return, and this is now going to be sending the NFT back to the original owner and unlocking my refundable deposit. That's what's going to happen here. So I click return, and we have a blockchain. While this is processing, I'm going to jump back into the Discord for a second. So Wooden's asking about transaction history. Yeah, so one thing that I come from the financial world that I'm focused on is we want to give you a full transaction history, which ideally you'll be able to download into a spreadsheet, and it'll show you per activity you did what your income was from that transaction, and then we leave it up to users to report that how they want. It's impossible for us to say what your tax obligation is, given we don't know where people are, we don't know state rules, we don't know personal situations. But what we can do is give you a clean transaction history that shows from a rental standpoint what your rental income is and a lot of other information. So that's something that we are committed to. Sorry, Austin, but we are committed to doing this before the end of this calendar year. And also keep in mind that taxes are filed, at least in the United States, in April. And so even if it leaks a little bit into 2023, we should be able to give you transaction history before taxes are due. And just continuing the process here. So now if you navigate to this moment or to this listing, you'll see that this asset was returned. I have completed my transaction successfully. I got an email notification saying I returned the asset. I received back my refundable deposit, and there is nothing more I need to do on the rental. I've completed the rental process. Just running through my notes here. So one important thing is, let's say you are doing the Siakam challenge and you want to rent this Norman Powell moment. You go and you say, hang on, I don't have enough USDC. I need 350, I only have 274, but I have extra USDT. You want to swap between two different tokens on Flow, you go to Blocto swap. And so Grasslow, please go ahead and drop this link into the chat right now. Blocto swap is where you can swap between tokens in the Flow ecosystem. And what you would do is say, I want to swap from USDT to USDC. And you would say, okay, I need 350 to do that rental. I'm going to swap 100. And you make that swap. And then at that point, assuming I did swap, you would process the transaction, you would come back to Flowty, your balance would show your updated balance, and you would then be able to rent this moment. So that is fairly easy. We also have a document, and Grasso, I'm going to ask you to drop this in too. This document outlines a lot of really good ways to move in and out of Flow tokens. And so if you have Ethereum-based tokens, if you have Bitcoin, if you have fiat, if you have Dapper Balance, and you want to acquire these flow tokens, use this article. It's a nice article. It's helpful. And if you have any questions, you can ask us. People might have seen in the general chat earlier, we had a user who was asking how they move from flow-based tokens back to Ethereum-based tokens. We were able to help out with that. So please use that post, use that article, and hopefully it becomes second nature over time. But anyway, to kind of round out the rental process, all you do is you connect your wallet, you find the rental you want to rent, you make sure you have the total due upfront available in your wallet, you click rent, you receive the moment in your Blocto wallet, you deposit that in Top Shot, you do whatever you want with it, you make sure you withdraw it on time and return the rental, and you're done. Hopefully you've seen throughout this presentation that the whole process takes under a couple of minutes, and it saves people a lot of headache. It allows people to access moments without having to buy them. It allows owners to generate passive income, and we think it's a really, really powerful and interesting tool. And so I think I'm done with my rant at this point, my nice monologue, but I'm sure people have questions, and so please do fire away. We've got the live platform going on the left here. If you have any questions at all, please fire away, and we can help answer them. If you have any recommendations on features or tools. Wooden, we don't have a sample. What I can tell you is that it'll probably mirror what happens when you go to Coinbase, for example, and download your transaction history. Our standpoint, depending on how much you're planning on using this, it's not that hard to go to your own user profile, rentals, owner, if you're talking about rental income, and you can sort by returned, for example. These are completed rentals, and this will tell you exactly right now. Here, I have an itemized, done, I don't know, what is this, 15, 20? Pop this into a spreadsheet, and the relevant metric for you is this rental fee times 90%. So that's obviously specific to Wooden's question. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like. So that's right, Austin. Thank you for flagging that. The other thing to think about is if you go to settled, these are rentals that have not been returned. So instead of getting your NFT back, you get a refundable deposit, and we can't provide, unfortunately, tax advice on exactly how that would be treated, though I think that my lawyers would not be happy if I go too much further, but you can probably figure out exactly how that would be treated from a tax standpoint. If not, your accountant can certainly help. Effectively, instead of getting your NFT back, you're getting the refundable deposit back. Does anyone else have any questions? Other questions we got? Come on, squad. I agree. We're going to be working on that. Don't worry. That's something I'm very conscious of. And having been through a complex couple of tax years and coming from the space myself, we will do our best to present it in a clean and easy way. WJF. So to clarify that exact situation, you can't get around the 7-day time, the 7-day gifting time. Okay, so the situation that you may be referencing is, let's say you rent a moment and you send it to a friend because the friend is collecting moments to complete a challenge, and that challenge happens 4 days after the initial rental. Um, what happened is, well, I guess okay. Let's put an exact situation in play. Let's say WJF comes along and rents this Pascal Siakam. It's a 9-day rental, and let's say right away WJF sends this moment to his friend Fred, and Fred is collecting moments from different people. And the challenge is completed by Fred on day 4. And Fred says, "Thank you very much, WJF. I'm going to send you back the Siakam moment now on day 4." Day 4, then the 7-day timer would start again, meaning that the soonest you can return it or withdraw it in order to be able to return it is day 11, which means there's no way for you to get the moment into your Blocto wallet in time. Way you can do that, though, WJF, and this kind of goes to your question, is if your friend Fred withdraws the moment from his account to his Blocto wallet 7 days after you sent it to him, then he can send it from his Blocto wallet to your Blocto wallet without any issues with withdrawing or anything, and that's how you can return the moment after you shared it with a friend. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a bit of a complex situation, but essentially, if the moment comes back into your account any way, shape, or form, either because you deposited it from Blocto, you received a gift from a friend, you bought it from a marketplace, you opened it from a pack, anything at all, that starts the 7-day timer. So always keep that in mind in terms of what you're doing with your rental. Any plans on building a Flowty library to offer listings to boost the number of offerings? I wouldn't say we have direct plans to do that. We have spoken to a few communities around the ecosystem about doing basically that for their community. So the way that would work, if anyone here is a community representative, we think this is a nice idea, is let's say your community has a library of assets. You can run contests and whatever else to give underpriced rentals, we'll say. So let's say one of your community members wanted to borrow a Raptors MGLE for the purposes of this challenge, and you wanted to give to them below market price. What you can do is you could say, okay, hold on, WJF, I'll get there. So let's say this Pascal Siakam is owned by Wolfpack or Jurassic Pack or Nine Lives Lounge, and they want to give it to a member at a reasonable price. You can use the private listing feature. Get the member's Blocto address. Say you want to do 9 days, say XYZ wallet. And right now, most of these rentals for Raptors MGOs have been in the $20 range. $25 range, you can say, I'll give it to you for $5. You're a good community member. Great. So I'll give it to you for $5. And you can make the refundable deposit as low as $5 if you trust them. They don't need the liquidity up front. All they need is $10 here, and they can get a Pascal Siakam rental. And so we hope over time we can work with On Lives Lounge and a lot of the other communities for them to help their own communities by using a rental library, basically. And it can be very inexpensive. It can reward their community members. And so we hope that happens over time. WJF, the other thing I'd note is when you're withdrawing something from your Dapper wallet, let's see if we can get an example. Okay. You need to connect your wallet. In order to connect your wallet, you need the login, the password. Like if I use another account here, you would need to sign in. So your friend from their Dapper would need to sign into your Blocto in order to send it directly out to your Blocto. So I don't know how much you trust your friend, but I'll leave that to you. Other questions we got? Please do fire away. In our view, this is essentially the best tool available to the Top Shot ecosystem right now, and so we want people to understand it's out there. We want people to understand how to use it, and we hope for anyone who watched here, you see it's really not that complex. It's a little bit hard for people who are trying it for the first time, perhaps. But it's not an overly complex process. And if you have any questions, we're always here to help. I'm going to claim this float. I have to log in. Lesson for WJF. Anyone else have any questions? What else we got? Nothing? We have a call in 3 minutes, so I guess it's good that no one's asking more questions. Is my call in 3 minutes? Oh, my call is in 33 minutes. I will be here ranting for another 30 minutes. Thank you for joining, Wooden. We appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully you found it useful. And I think we're recording this, Grasslow mentioned, so we'll be able to drop this into the Flowty videos channel. And we're gonna do one of these for loans at some point over the next couple of weeks. So hopefully if anyone has any questions about loans, we can clarify them during the loan presentation. And we're here if anyone has any questions otherwise. I've noticed that no one has tried to put up a listing. Give it a shot. So someone should be that person. Just throw a moment into your Blocto account, click new rental, put up a crazy listing just to see it up there, just to live a little. Look, you can do it live on this stream. Pop it up right here. Give it a shot. I'm not trying to peer pressure, but it would bring me great joy. I'm gonna claim the float on my phone right now. The questions we got. Come on, who's thinking about a question but not asking it? Jack, that's a great question. Honestly, what we're most excited for is for more people to have the moment where they try it out once and say, holy crap, this is awesome, this is really useful, and I'm going to use the shit out of this product. This is a really exciting product, and it brings a lot to the ecosystem, and that's a really exciting moment for us. We're also excited for supporting NFL All Day and UFC when those go non-custodial, and for being here at the forefront of the Flow blockchain as new platforms build out, as we add support for other collections in the ecosystem, as we support Flunks and Flovitar and Ballers and Goats and all the different projects. Yes, who's doing it? Who is putting up a listing? Damian Lillard with a $69 rental fee and a $420 refundable deposit. Just a legendary listing. Who's responsible for it? Need to memorialize this. That. Who else wants to get in here? Only 11 of these floats have been minted. Get in there, people. To have the floats. So look, this Damian Lillard, check it out. So just to run through this. Oh, one thing. Great. I'm really happy I came back to this. A nifty little feature that we have is if you ever want to see this moment on Top Shot, all you have to do is click View Asset. Watch this. Bam. This moment on Top Shot. And very cool, you can see who it's owned by. It's an external owner, no longer under the regime of Dapper. Lillard blocked that. Uncharacteristic. And here's the external owner, and what you can do, it's kind of fun. You can click and see what moments are in the external owner's account. Just one. There it is. So I don't know which one of you it is, but here is your external wallet as it's viewed from the Top Shot perspective. You can see the countdown till it's active. Right now I cannot rent. So if I go to this moment, I can click rent. If I go to this moment, I can't. We're in the cooldown period, the fat finger salvation period. On my windows a little bit. Again, this is a big part of the process here, the Veerman tool. And you can use the bottom part here to deposit back to your Dapper wallet. But that's far easier of a process. Now, I guess just to show everyone, without the Veerman tool, yes, so DJAC asks if we're going to support other projects. Absolutely, we're going to. We have some limitations because the NFTs need to be withdrawable to a Blocto or Lilico wallet in order for us to support them. And right now, NFL and UFC are not. As soon as they are, we're going to support them. And what goes a long way for us, send a tweet saying, when is NFL going to go non-custodial? We want to use it on Flowty. And then when we go to Dapper and say, a lot of people want this, we can point to those tweets, which they've hopefully seen, and understand that there's demand for it. So if you didn't have the Veerman tool, there's really no way to sort these moments. You basically have a default sort of most recently arrived in your account. And like, if you want, I have 3,000 moments or something. If you want something that you got 6 months ago, it's really, really hard to find. You have to go in, look at these little thumbnails, figure it out, and it is a situation and a half. So we are very, very thankful for Intangible coming up with this awesome tool where you don't even have to deal with this Dapper withdrawal. You just deal with your own account. I guess we can run through that process one more time for anyone who arrived late. And so if you want to withdraw a moment, and all you have to do is, hopefully this one has been in my account for long enough. Click it. Copy the URL. Paste the URL. Export. Automatically exports it. You would have to just connect your wallet and you're all set. Again, thank you to Veerman. What are the questions we got? Anyone have any thoughts on locking? The employee did? Okay, so I think we're going to wrap this up. We'll give another 30 or 60 seconds in case anyone wants to ask any questions. There's some very pretty notifications. I think Google Mail thinks this is a Czech language message, unclear why. All right, before we wrap it up, thank you to everyone for joining. We do these periodically. We also have this video available in the Flowty Videos channel. We'll probably cut off the end of it just to keep things at a reasonable length. And then we'll do a loan one of these at some point in the future. Hopefully you found this valuable. Tyus Jones moment.